Hey guys, we're going to be going back to Dark Visions number 12 on Global. I was a little rushed on Monday when I did these, so now that it's the weekend, I've got more time. We're going to be revisiting the earlier bosses and seeing if we can get a better score, and then maybe I'll work on a show or some more later. But we're going to start with Dark Odin. I almost capped him on Monday. I was really close, but didn't quite get it. So we're going to change the team up. We're going to go with this team instead. So it's going to be a dark team. I made some few unit swaps as well. So we've got Mastermind Zahn on Carbuncle with Bar Farega learned. And then Venera is starting in the shift form. That's the two things I should point out to start off. And the rest of the team, let's go over it. So we're going to be using, technically because we're using Double Mirage, we don't need Light Resist on anyone. But just for the base forms, or the non-DPS forms, we do have Light Resist on everyone. Because we're using Double Mirage, that's optional, but I'm wearing it anyway. On the other hand, we do need 20% Fire Resist on everyone, because we are using an 80% Fire Resist buff, and the fire is magical. So Riku is going to be our source of 130% Dark Imperil. He's also going to be our Dark Imbue, although we can get the Imbue from Shadow or Venera as well. We're going to get it from Riku. He's got Bushido Freedom and he is not dual wielding, so we can dispel the Imperil. And there we go. Now in the shift form, we're only shifting on the kill turn, so we don't need any resistances at all. We are using Katana Imperil and Spear Imperil, so we're trying to stick to those weapons when possible. So we're using double Katana. Other than that, he's going to do his LB. Now this is a good materia. This is from the Ymir trial that just came out. If you're doing Dark Visions, I recommend you get this materia. It's going to help out. It's more human killer. But there we go. So his stats are 4,500 attack, 275 human, 300 LB damage. Venera, we're going to be using her base form LB. Because we're using Edgar and we need Edgar to get the Amplify, it kind of interrupts Venera's flow. So we have to use her base form LB instead. So there we go. We've got a sword as well as a katana, some fire resist, and we don't need light resist. We're using Mirage, and her stats are 300 LB, 300 human. Shift form, just some resistance, mana regen, etc., and then a little bit of resist. Not super important. We're not using the shift for damage. Base form, Lasso Reagan, same thing, some LB fill. We gave him 1,000 needles so we can Mirage the team on the dispel turn. It helps out a little bit. And then shift form, he's only shifting on the kill turns. We don't need resist. He's got a spear to help out with Edgar's Imperil. Other than that, LB damage, human killer, etc. There's his setup. He's got 295 LB, 300 human. Mastermind Zahn is the passive provoke evasion tank. Technically, we're using death resist. The boss does single target death on thresholds, which is 80%, and there's some other lower ones. We're not going to push a threshold, but if you are pushing a threshold early while you're setting up, give your provoker death immunity. Technically, we don't really need it, but I'm doing it anyway. So there's his setup: passive provoke evasion, 20 fire resist, etc. Assassin Shadow, same thing, got 20 fire resist, and then just some setup, some mana regen. He's going to be doing double Mirage and Katana Imperil. On the kill turn, he's going to shift and chain with Zahn. So we've got double Katana for the Imperil, a little bit of human killer. By a little bit, I mean 300%. There we go. And then Edgar, base form, just a little bit of resistance. There we go, some resist. And then shift form, double spear, jump damage, human killer. He's going to be the primary DPS here. We've got 300 human and 725 jump damage. Alright, so I'm going to pause for a second in case I make a mistake and have to start it over again. But otherwise, let's go. Alright guys, I just ran this. It worked great, but I got 9.7 billion. So I think that might have been variance. So we're going to go again and hope for a better score, because I'm right there on the edge. And this, by my calculations, I should be within capping range. Okay, so on turn 1, Mastermind Zahn is going to Bar Farega. We're going to just guard Riku. We're going to have Venera, who is in the shift form, by the way. Triple cast, Shadow cast. Lasso Reagan is going to Gleaming 3 times. Edgar is going to Dignified King. And then Assassin Shadow is going to triple cast Concealing Shadow to Mirage the party and fill LB gauge. Okay. So we're miraging the physical attacks. We are resisting the fire magical attacks. Alright, turn 2, we don't really need anything. We're just going to wait for now. So we're just going to guard most people. We are going to refresh Mirage, though. So Mirage again, the rest can just wait. We're going to start our setup on turn 3. That way the turns line up real nice. Alright, Edgar on turn 3 is going to shift, and we're going to do True Royal Shock. We're going to also do the LB on Venera. Let's see. And the rest of the team can just keep chilling out and waiting. Okay. Now we're going to use Lasso Reagan to 1,000 Needles for Mirage. We're going to use Riku to Bushido our own team so that we can dispel that Imperil. And let me just check something real quick. Yeah, her Imbue and Amp can't be removed. I'm like... I calculated my damage to be higher than... Why is my damage so low? Anyway, turn 4, so we did that. So we need to bar Farega, Mastermind Zahn. We're going to just Mirage again with Shadow. Now Venera is going to Shadow Serpent, a Man-Eater, and then just Snipe Dagger. That's going to amplify Edgar by 25% before he jumps. And now we can Figaro jump. Okay. So again, we're double miraging the attacks. We don't need to worry about all that. Alright, we're going to Complete Awakening to boost LB damage. Riku is going to Dark Maelstrom, Dark Break, and Overdrive. That's going to boost his LB damage. Shadow is going to Katana Imperil, and then just double Mirage for the party. Venera is going to go back to the base form. We're going to Heavenly to boost LB damage, Marauder's Blade, and then just, you know, Condemning Blade, whatever, doesn't really matter. Wait for this to finish. Alright, now Zahn is going to Reflector. We're going to Critical on Venera. We're going to Elemental on Riku, and we're going to Projected. And I'm going to hope for that 10 billion cap, because my calculations, I should be doing like 10.5 billion. Why am I... I'm not sure why I'm short. I'm not sure. I'm really not. Alright, so Shadow is going to shift. We're going to do a lot of shifts this turn. Shadow's going to shift. Lasso Reagan's going to shift. Riku's going to shift. And if we could, we'd shift Venera, but we can't. So we're going to use Venera's base form LB, Riku shifted LB, Lasso Reagan shifted LB. Shadow is going to Chaotic, Dancing, and Diamond. Zahn is going to triple. We're going to AR twice and SR, and then we're going to cap with Edgar. Okay, so looking for 10 billion again. Let's do it. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to drop these. We're looking for a 157-point chain score, which we got. So 10 billion, please. 11 billion. 11 billion. That is the most crazy variance. I didn't do anything different. I literally just did a run where I did 9.7. No changes whatsoever. Identical across the board. And that time I got 11 billion. That's a swing of 1.5 billion damage of variance. That is so irritating that it can be that big of a swing. But I now perfect scored Dark Odin. Okay, so my rank went up a little bit. I'm still steadily dropping. Yeah, so the next goal is Dark Diablos, where I will be working on him probably tomorrow. Yeah, so there was Dark Odin, perfect score. With some changes, I went over the team already. Yep, I already did. So there we go. Hope it's been helpful. I will see you guys for a new Dark Diablos clear sometime later this weekend. Later.